There's something on my mind. Bear with me a little. I promise it's worth it. Picture this. A world where every choice, every decision, and every reaction comes from a place of calm, rational thought. Now, I'm not suggesting a robotic society where emotions are tossed aside. I'm thinking of a world where reason and emotion coexist harmoniously, complementing each other. Wouldn't that be something? Well, let's begin with our daily lives. We've all been in situations where emotions get the better of us. We make decisions based on those fleeting emotions, which, in hindsight, we often regret. But if we approached life with a balance of heart and head, we probably find ourselves in fewer sticky situations, won't we? Take the example of being stuck in traffic, something that flares up tempers quite easily. Irrationally, we might honk our horns incessantly, aggravate fellow drivers, and arrive at our destination agitated. But think about a rational approach. We might use the time to listen to a podcast, take deep breaths, and realize everyone else is in the same boat. Suddenly, the entire experience changes. Now, expand this to our relationships. Misunderstandings arise when we assume, react impulsively, or let unfounded beliefs guide our interactions. If, however, we approach relationships with clarity and reasoned compassion, imagine the depths of connections we'll forge. Consider a misunderstanding with a close friend. Instead of getting defensive or stewing in resentment, think about calmly discussing the issue. By seeking understanding and being open to rational dialogue, we strengthen bonds and build mutual respect. Zoom out further, and let's look at societal challenges. Our history is riddled with conflicts stemming from superstitions, prejudices, and unfounded beliefs. Wars have been waged, communities divided, and injustices normalized, all because of irrationality. It's startling when you stop and think about it. But what if we started questioning these age-old beliefs and norms? What if we tried understanding their roots, assessing their validity, deciding whether they have a place in our modern society? Imagine societies free from the shackles of baseless superstitions, where laws are formulated based on evidence and the collective good, not outdated beliefs. A society where policies are framed after rational debates, looking at the long-term benefits rather than short-lived gains. What's intriguing is that the very essence of human evolution is based on our ability to reason. From discovering fire to developing technologies that now define our era, rationality has been at the core. So it's not a stretch to say that a more rational society might be the next step in our evolution. It's worth noting that rationality doesn't mean discarding emotions. On the contrary, it means acknowledging our feelings and then deciding the best course of action after considering them. It's like having a personal internal dialogue before reacting. This combination of emotion and reason can lead to richer, more meaningful lives. Now, of course, the shift to such a world doesn't happen overnight. It begins with individuals, with you and me. It starts with questioning our beliefs, reassessing our reactions, and making a conscious effort to approach challenges with a balanced mind. Remember the saying, "Be the change you want to see in the world"? It rings true here. By incorporating rationality into our lives, we not only elevate our personal experiences, but also influence those around us, like ripples in a pond. Our actions can create waves of change. There's something magical about bedtime reflections. As you lay down, allowing these thoughts to wash over you, think about your day. Were there moments you could have approached differently, more rationally? Ponder over them, not with regret, but with the promise to try a more balanced approach tomorrow. And so, as you close your eyes tonight, let's dream of a world guided by reason and emotion in harmony. A world where decisions, both big and small, are made after a dance of thought and feeling. Have you ever stopped to consider the hundreds, maybe thousands of decisions you make every day? From what to have for breakfast to which route to take to work. Our days are filled with choices. And in these choices lies immense power. In each decision, there is an opportunity to apply reason. But what does it truly entail? It's not just about being logical or analytical. It's about weighing options, considering consequences, and most importantly, understanding the underlying emotions that influence us. Take, for instance, the world of consumerism. Every day, we are bombarded with advertisements selling not just products, but lifestyle and dreams. A rational approach here would be to understand these marketing tactics, recognize our actual needs, and make purchase decisions that align with our genuine values and financial goals. Or let's talk about the world of social media, a universe where emotions run high. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of online debates, the rush of likes, and the validation from virtual applause. However, integrating here some rationality would mean understanding the ephemeral nature of this digital applause, discerning genuine information from misinformation, and ensuring our mental well-being isn't tied solely to online validation. Now, what about rationality in relationships? Beyond the daily decisions, let's consider the realm of interpersonal relationships, an area deeply intertwined with emotions. Every bond, be it familial, platonic, or romantic, thrives on mutual understanding, trust, and communication. But often, they're also riddled with misunderstandings, unvoiced expectations, and assumptions. Injecting a dose of rationality here would mean actively communicating, asking questions instead of making assumptions, and understanding that every individual, including ourselves, is evolving. It's about appreciating the imperfections, setting healthy boundaries, and realizing that every relationship requires effort, understanding, and rational decisions from both sides. If we expand our view a bit more, we find that the most progressive societies have, at their core, a system that promotes rational thinking. The justice system, for instance, is based on the principle of evaluating evidence before drawing conclusions. Similarly, the field of science thrives on hypotheses, experiments, and results, all pillars of rational thought. Yet, it's also evident that many of our societal norms, traditions, and even some laws are based on outdated beliefs or superstitions. So, here the challenge is not just individual but collective. As a society, there's a pressing need to reassess, to question, and to evolve. Every tradition, norm, or law should ideally be re-evaluated through the lens of current societal values, ethical standpoints, and scientific understanding. But of course, championing rationality isn't without its challenges. The human brain, fascinatingly complex, is wired with cognitive biases. These biases, often a result of our upbringing, experiences, and surroundings, influence our decisions subconsciously. Overcoming these biases requires conscious effort. It's about continuously educating ourselves, being open to different viewpoints, and most importantly, accepting when we are wrong. It's not about winning arguments, but about enriching our perspective. Imagine for a moment a world where rationality is celebrated. Schools would not just focus on academic achievements, but also on critical thinking. News would be consumed with discernment, leading to a more informed citizenry. Communities would come together not on mere traditions, but on values and shared goals. Such a world wouldn't be devoid of emotions. In fact, emotions would play a significant role. Joy, sorrow, love, excitement. These feelings are quintessential to the human experience. However, they'd be complemented by a robust framework of rational thought, ensuring that our actions stemming from these emotions lead to positive outcomes. So, as the night deepens and you find yourself lost in this tapestry of thoughts, remember this: the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. While dreaming of a rational world is visionary, actualizing it begins with us. Every day offers numerous moments to practice rationality. Simply from the way we consume information, to the way we interact with others, to the choices we make. In these moments lies the potential for change. So let's make a pact tonight. Tomorrow, let's choose one decision, one interaction, or one challenge, and approach it rationally. Note the difference in outcome. Relish the clarity it brings. And let that be the motivation to incorporate rationality in more areas of life. And as your days turn into weeks and weeks into months, this practice may just become second nature. We'd be living embodiments of the change we wish to see, influencing others around us, and setting in motion the ripples of a more reasoned world. Now, with these thoughts and dreams, drift into a peaceful slumber, knowing that tomorrow holds the promise of not just another day, but a step closer to a more rational, harmonious world. So, good night, and dream rationally.